This is the Martini Mortgage Podcast with Kevin Martini.
Hello and welcome to the Martini Mortgage Podcast. I am Kevin Martini and I am your host. I am your mortgage solutionist and the chief mortgage strategist at the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage. And this is going to be a different type of episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast. So if you're used to our normal format, it's going to be kind of a mixed up cocktail today. Episode 18 is going to be filled with some random thoughts I think you need to know. You see, I was recently on a business trip to California. On the aggregate, the real estate market is materially different in California than it is in Raleigh, North Carolina, or the Triangle of North Carolina. I was talking at the pool to a very young couple that was renting. They had a one-bedroom apartment that was, to their words, about a 500 square feet, and they were paying, wait for it, $2,100 a month. Well, the $2,100 of rent included just one parking spot. They were also paying an extra $150 a month for a second parking spot. So their rent every month that they would write a check to their landlord was really $2,250 a month for a 500 square foot apartment. Can you imagine? Every month paying $2,250 in rent for a 500 square foot apartment? Good for that landlord. Now, you could pay this much in downtown Raleigh. I have a family that we helped that is renting a one-bedroom in one of the high rises in downtown Raleigh, and she was paying $1,850 for a one-bedroom. Do not know how much the square footage was, nor do I know how many parking spots she had. Let me share some of my thoughts about renting. Is renting a bad thing? Absolutely not. Now, in full disclosure, I share this sentiment for a couple of reasons. Number one, I am a landlord. And I am a landlord because I truly believe that real estate is the path to wealth. For me and my family, someone else pays the mortgage for us and we get the appreciation and tax benefits. In full disclosure, point number two is owning a home is not right for everyone. Now, what I feel is bad is when folks that are renting because they think they cannot afford to buy. What I think is bad is they think that their credit is not where it needs to be. What I think is sad is they think they don't have enough money for down payment. Making a decision on whether to buy or not to buy, making a decision to keep renting or to keep renting should be based on facts. The decision to keep renting should be based on not what an app that promises to take you to the moon on a spaceship, or most importantly, what you overheard at a party last weekend. One should seek trusted advice from a mortgage strategist that understands your complete situation and also has some clarity of your short and long-term goals. The mortgage strategist you select should provide a plan, and that plan may or may not include buying a home now. Home ownership is not right for everyone, and that is okay. Again, my random thoughts on this topic are very simple. If you should buy or you should not buy, it should be based 100% on facts, not myths. That's what I do. That is what mortgage strategist Alex Martini does with the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage. This is what Logan Martini, a mortgage strategist with the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage, does. And this is what I do too. Now, Logan Martini published recently the summer 2018 edition of his homebuyer guide called Things to Consider When Buying a Home. This homebuyer guide, in my opinion, simply and effectively communicates the current market opportunity. On page 13 of the Homebuyer Guide, there is a killer article he called 2 Myths That Have Been Holding You Back from Buying. I would encourage you to check it out. You can get free access to the Logan Martini Homebuyer Guide by going to www.loganbuyerguide.com. Again, that website is www.loganbuyerguide.com. In this article, Logan Martini shared there are many misconceptions about buying a home, and they are related to down payment needed and the credit score needed. Did you know the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage recently helped a family buy a home with no down payment? Did you know the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage recently helped a family that had a middle credit score of 581? I believe there is a time to rent, folks. With that said, I believe that right time is not now. The time is right now to buy, if it's right for you and your family, and it's critical that you know before you owe. There is no substitute to know before you owe, and there is always no substitute to know your options. Check out Logan's Buyer Guide by going to www.loganbuyerguide.com and know that I and the entire Martini Mortgage Group are here to help you with no pressure, just trusted advice. We help families all over the great state of North Carolina, and we have a network of trusted resources all over the U.S. that can help. Simply give us a call at 919-238-4934. If you believe that buying a home is right for you after we meet, then we'll make the process very simple and we will be turbo fast. Our proprietary process maximizes time and eliminates frustration. On the topic of frustration, I was very frustrated with a conversation that I had with a realtor in California during my recent trip. This agent was complaining about millennials. In full disclosure, I am blessed that both of my children work with me in our mortgage practice, and they have been trained by the best. That's me. Alex is what I would call the older millennial, and Logan is what I would call the younger millennial. So I understand them both, and they both are very smart and very hardworking people with a very strong ethics. So this agent went on a rant in California, and she said that these millennials are lazy. She went on to say they are entitled, and then she used that word lazy again. She really had a lot on her mind, and I'm 100% confident that she did not like what I had to share with her. I shared that people I know that are in their 40s, and there are people that I know that are in their 50s that feel entitled and that are lazy. People are people, and people should not be classified in a group. 1 or 2 people do not define a generation, I shared with her. With the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage, there is Alex, and Alex is an older millennial. And then there's Logan. Logan is a younger millennial. And both of these guys work 60 hours a week, and they will work maybe even more this week. They are both millennials. And they both have an immigrant mentality. In other words, no entitlement. Just make it happen and hustle to help. With a servant's heart. They spell hustle in capital letters, and they both have servant's hearts with a passion to help. So please do not stereotype millennials, because these folks are very smart and they know exactly what they want. This idea that millennials want to live above a pizzeria and do not want to own a home, in my opinion, is completely false. Again, do not let other people define who or what you want to do. If you want to do it, then do it. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But don't stereotype millennials, because they are a very hardworking, smart generation that, quite honestly, some of them make a decision to rent That's fine. Some make a decision to buy. That's fine. Being different does not define you. You know, in England, they don't drive on the wrong side of the road. They drive on a different side of the road. I believe that today is a gift. Tomorrow will be a mystery, and last week is history. What you do today can influence your tomorrow. Again, is buying a home right for you? I do not know. However, I do know making the decision that is based on whether you buy or not, based on someone else's opinion or based on a myth, is wrong. Know your options and call the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage at 919-238-4934. Your plan may not be working out as you thought, and that's okay. Just seek the knowledge and increase your activities to make the plan work. Work harder and hustle like the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage does to make it happen. It does not matter how big your house is. The only thing that matters is how happy your home is. Home can be a place that you rent, or it could be your own slice of the American dream, your own home. I get it. I do not solve world peace. Can you believe that? I just don't do it. However, what we do here is I believe we create peace of mind for the families we have the privilege to help. Let me kind of share a recent review that was published on Google. It was from a client named Hans, and I'm going to quote this real quick. Quote, "Where do I begin? Well, I put off buying a home for longer than I should have, mostly due to the horror stories that I heard and experienced secondhand. I finally met Bree Carlton, and she showed me that buying a home can be as easy as breathing. Bree is a wonderful agent in person. She is dedicated, professional, enthusiastic, as well as 2 million other favorite adjectives. In 2 days' time, we had a home. Now enter Alex Martini, Kevin Martini, and Brad Armistead from Benchmark Mortgage. These guys, I can't say enough about them. I closed in 15 days. The entire process was orchestrated. Yes, orchestrated like a world-class symphony by Alex and Brad. I got calls from either one of them, both daily. There were no surprises, and if I had questions, they were always available to help explain the things I didn't understand. Quite a bit, in fact. First-time homebuyer. Not only were Alex and Brad helpful, but professional, efficient, honest, reliable, and most of all, friendly. Matter of fact, the people that worked at Benchmark Mortgage were all very nice and professional. Here's the best part. I felt like I was part of one big happy family, and I knew that Bree, Alex, and Brad all had my back. My home purchase was actually a very pleasurable experience, and I firmly believe it was because of these fine people. Heck, even I got money at closing. Bonus! So if you're buying a home for whatever reason, do yourself a favor, contact Bree Carlton and insist on Benchmark Mortgage. End quote. Humbled. We do things differently. We realize it's not just a house, it's a home. If you or someone you know has questions about the current mortgage rates or home loan products, we invite you to reach out to the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage, 919-238-4934. In closing, know that our family is your family lender. And thank you for listening to episode 18 of the Martini Mortgage Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Martini Mortgage Podcast with mortgage strategist Kevin Martini. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Martini Group and check out our website at martinimortgagegroup.com. Tune in next week for another episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast. The information contained in this podcast presentation is for general product information purposes only. Arklatex Financial Services, LLC, NMLS number 2143, doing business as Benchmark Mortgage, makes no representations or warranties of any kind expressed or implied about the completeness, reliability, suitability, or availability with respect to the information, products, or services. All loans subject to borrower qualifying. Other restrictions may apply. Branch Manager Kevin Martini, NMLS number 143962. Branch located at 5650 Six Forks Road, Suite 101, Raleigh, North Carolina 27609. Contact the branch by calling 919-238-4934. Equal housing opportunity.